Hello, everyone. I am Ryan Rowley from Simple Vet Benefits, or Simple Benefits to be short. And this is my channel. I created this channel to inform veterans and also to educate veterans about their benefits and also VA claims. So that's why I have a course, and it's called Simple or the Vet Rating Guide. So today we're here for another News Tuesday, and I got some great news for you all that's affecting veterans this week. Let me pull up something. There we go. Now I can, my bad, John. I'm using a new software. There we go. What's up, Be Humble? We're using StreamYard today. Anyway, so first things first, legislative efforts to improve VA services. So the House Republicans have introduced bills to reform the VA's disability benefits process, aiming to simplify and modernize claims and appeals procedures. So the proposed legislation seeks to reduce delays and improve service delivery for veterans. So we're looking good, y'all. We'll see how it goes if they get it passed and all that good stuff. So challenges facing veterans. Foreclosures are on the rise, affecting 60,000 veterans. So, the termination of the Veterans Affairs Service Program or Servicing Program, VASP or VASP, which provided mortgage assistance to struggling veterans, to struggling veteran homeowners, has led to increased foreclosure risks. With no immediate replacement for the program, approximately 60,000 vets are now at heightened risk of losing their homes. Now, this is like some big news. So, of course, check in with your battle buddies, especially if you know they're under this program. Check in with your battle buddies anyway, because of course it's some interesting times right now. Especially for me, I'm a veteran. I work for the government, and we just finished the DRP 2.0, and a lot of people left, and the workload is a lot larger now. I think I put in, which is not normal. I usually put in 40 hours a week, but this week it was like 60, or last week it was like 60. It was a lot of hours in one week, and the on calls over the weekend too. Anyway, next up, the VA Secretary defends mass layoffs amid congressional concerns. So the VA plans to cut thousands of jobs, a move that has raised concerns among lawmakers about potential negative impacts on veteran services. So the VA Secretary argues that the layoffs are a return to pre-pandemic staffing levels, but the decision has sparked debate about its timing and implications. So, yeah, he had to go in front of Congress, and he basically had to defend himself on, you know, why he's firing so many people. He had to justify that. I work for the USDA, and the secretary there also had to do the same thing because 15,000 employees took the DRP, which is about 15% of the workforce. And of course, a lot of those folks were working out of DC and or in critical roles. So she had to also explain that. She had to explain why all that happened under her watch, which is very interesting because it was completely voluntary, and it seemed like even if you were in a critical role, what probably should have happened, what traditionally happens if you are in a critical role or an essential role, they usually deny you to voluntarily leave, like with DRP. So the VA covers sexual wellness devices. So the VA now fully reimburses FDA-cleared sexual wellness devices at MD.Health, which it is addressing sexual dysfunction issues prevalent amongst veterans, particularly those with spinal cord injuries or PTSD. Now, this initiative marks a significant step in acknowledging in treating sexual health as essential competent and has an essential component of veteran care. And also with these articles, I'm going to post them in the comments so you can, of course, read up for yourself. Um, Next up, PTSD awareness through through Pulling for Veterans. So the nonprofit Pulling for Veterans is raising awareness about PTSD and veteran self-harm by displaying trailers with images and stories of veterans affected by PTSD. Now, the initiative aims to spark conversations and connect veterans with necessary resources. You said be humble. You said Viagra. Yeah, blue packs, honey packs, the Panther pills. I had a veteran tell me they have a lot. They have a shot for PTSD. That's interesting. They have a shot for PTSD. Okay, I wonder what's in that bad boy. I'm sure if y'all were tuned in last week, they were talking about what were they talking about? They were talking about like some type of new study they have for PTSD and trauma. And it was like some type of trippy drug that you were going to take in small doses and with therapy included in it to where you can actually share your traumas. Check out last week's segment because News Tuesday because yeah, that was interesting. You said it resets the nervous system? Yeah, that's crazy. Nah, no, thank you. All right, so support for women's veterans health research. Congresswoman Nikki Bunzinski, and Young Kim has expressed support for continued health research focused on women veterans. So their advocacy highlights the need for gender-specific studies to address unique health strategies faced by female veterans. That's awesome. That's awesome. I made a whole video on that um, about what women veterans go through. Check it out because I got to learn a lot. They definitely have a different experience in the military than we do, of course. Adaptive sports for disabled veterans. So the annual Candlewood Lake Veterans Fishing Tournament in Danbury provided disabled veterans with an opportunity to engage in adaptive sports. The event aimed to enhance veterans' health, quality of life, and social connections through inclusive recreational activities. And Candlewood Lake is in Connecticut, by the way. So check that out. It looked like a pretty dope event. If you don't know, one of the guy in the comments right now, be humble. We actually met at a veterans event at Wounded Warrior Project. They have a bunch of events. If you didn't know, if you sign up to be their alumni, they basically they have events like every weekend or a few times a week in person and especially virtual, where you can meet up with other veterans and you can do all types of fun activities. Like this weekend, me and my wife on Friday, we signed up for a dinner and a movie. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Alamo, which is like a drive-in or like dine-in type of movie. Um, I guess location. You can either be outside or inside. It's pretty dope, and they just finished building one not that long ago in Northern Virginia. And yeah, we're gonna see the Thunderbolts. It's gonna be fun, and I've met so many awesome veterans out there that I still talk to this day. Like I said, one of them is Be Humble. He actually just interviewed me last week, and I'm sure was that live or is that getting posted soon? I don't remember, but yeah, just something that sprouted out of meeting up with other veterans. So make sure you get outside and do that. And of course, with the Wounded Warrior Project events, they're free. So take advantage of them. All right, next up. Here's an interesting one. So a local Army veteran is speaking out after being mistakenly declared dead by the Department of Veteran Affairs, saying the error has left him without disability benefits, health care, or recognition from the very agency meant to support him. Now, that's crazy. You can't make this stuff up. So they said he was dead, so that means he can't. He can't get a claim in. He can't get benefits. He can't get health care. Nothing. He can't definitely can't go on base. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I need to be humble. I need to get that thumbnail to you ASAP. I just switched phones, so I gotta go to the old phone and get that off there and then make the thumbnail. A woman named Simone Durant runs a hair restoration business in St. Petersburg called the Hair Dive. She specializes in helping people with hair loss and thinning, and recently began focusing on veterans who often suffer hair loss due to military service, stress, or medical conditions like autoimmune diseases. Many veterans, especially women, share stories of how military life damaged their hair. For example, Leslie, a Marine and Army veteran, that's a lot going on. She doing both. Okay. Lost much of her hair due to years of tight hairstyles to service and eventually shaved it all off. Now, tight hairstyles. I know who that is. Okay. Melody, a Navy veteran, lost hair from an autoimmune disease and was referred to Simone by the VA. That's pretty dope. The VA is referring to independent companies. I mean, they did say they were going to start doing that now. Um, so Simone creates custom hair restoration plans, including products and styling to help them feel like themselves again. About 30% of her clients are now veterans. She works as a community care provider through the VA, meaning some treatments may be covered by VA benefits. Veterans say her work gives them back confidence, comfort, and dignity, especially after all they've sacrificed in service. Simone says it's an honor to help them feel to heal, not just physically, but emotionally. That's pretty dope. And there's a video on YouTube where you can actually look at that from that news source. Yeah, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about these articles that I mentioned today. Also, check out the channel. We have plenty of content for you, especially, this channel is dedicated to teaching you about VA claims mainly. I'm going to be starting some new channels soon that are going to be talking about different things. Like one's going to be for finance, veteran finance, anything about money, investing, saving. Um, how to do certain things like buy a car in cash or get out of debt, things of that nature. Another one that's specifically talking to or interviewing entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, and what it took to get there, their stories, and how you all can do the same thing, go into business for yourself. What else? We and then one that's about veteran stories. So basically, combat related stories. Um, so I think that's going to be awesome because who doesn't love to hear some history and told from a veteran? But that's all I have, folks. Make sure you check out simplevetbenefits.com. We have a lot of great resources for you all, especially the Vet Rating Guide, which is my course that educates veterans about the VA claims process. If you want to get an increase, if you're going through a denial, if um, you're trying to figure out how to navigate the appeals process, anything regarding the VA claims process is there for you. That's all I got, folks. Y'all have a great night. You said dealerships don't like people paying in cash. It depends on who you go to. I think I didn't have any problems with. We went to CarMax, and even the person before us, they bought their vehicle cash too. So, they run pretty different than your average dealership. But yeah, dealerships, they want you to finance your car because, of course, they get that percentage of whatever. Like I know they get some of your down payment. They also get probably a percentage when you go with their banks. So their loan, where you get your loans through. So yeah, of course, it kind of takes from them, but CarMax is kind of avoids that. Um, and I'm sure there's other dealerships that do something similar. And then yeah, CarMax is like a as is type deal. It's not really any negotiation room for the prices. So of course you could get that with a regular dealership. It just all depends. But that's all I got, folks. Y'all have a great night. Peace.